Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to the Mother Road. We are on Interstate 40, otherwise known as Route 66. Settlers have been traveling across this road for a long time. I am just now leaving Kingman, Arizona. Got there last night. Had a short trip in Los Angeles and hightailed it on out so that I could get on the road. I just left Kingman en route to Louisville, Kentucky. Kentucky is my birthplace, where I've always had a love affair having grown up there. You could not say anything illy of Kentucky. Kentucky in my heart is always going to be my forever home. And so at any rate, just headed across the country for the next 2 or 3 days. Working on keeping this YouTube channel filled with content and getting everything going. Stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night. That's what they say. Got my caffeinated beverage, as Adam the Woo would say, and starting out on a journey today. Gonna try and get as many miles under my belt as possible, and just try and get and find my way into Louisville, Kentucky by Wednesday. So there's something magical that I've always loved about the road. I've always had that wanderlust. I toured when I was in my 20s and always genuinely had a love affair for traveling and being on the road. Despite gas prices where they're at, I've always been in this wanderlust for new sights and sounds, and more so just getting out on that road and traveling. I just listened to one of my favorite musicians singing the Loadout song. I've always loved traveling and seeing what's around the bend. I didn't get a chance to point out last time that people like Charles Kuralt, On the Road with Charles Kuralt in the 80s, probably the 70s also, was just such a phenomenal television show. If you haven't had a chance to check out On the Road with Charles Kuralt, what he did for Americana, what he did for the back roads of America back then, to just go through and document rural living, or some guy that had invented a bottle cap that became famous and went on to a Dr. Pepper bottle or whatever. Truly, that TV series was super instrumental. I've watched those videos endlessly throughout my years, and just appreciating the art form that they were, as far as a fun little slice of Americana. But anyways, so just traveling down the road today. I am excited to get as many miles under my belt and see where the day takes me. So I'm gonna pretty much just get through Arizona, probably into Texas and on into Oklahoma, I think. I don't know, maybe stop off somewhere fun. There's a couple really great spots that still exist on Route 66. There's a little root beer stand that still makes root beer from the 1950s. And of course, there are some good hamburger stands. And there's a lot to take in. If you haven't had the chance to travel Route 66, Route 66 is just filled with little slices of Americana. And the more off the beaten path you go, the more exciting it gets. This is kind of a quick trip for me. so that I can get to Louisville so I can see some family for holidays. There you go. So that I can see some family for their birthdays, and so that I can get in and out, so that I can get on up to New Hampshire. I wanted to tell the story about New Hampshire and how I ended up buying a property up in Sandwich. I was working on a movie in Rhode Island, and it was just pure on chaos, long hours. I happened to get a stop down when I got COVID, and the protocols at the time with Disney were horrible. I got double quarantine, so that meant I had to quarantine for almost 14 days, and no other restriction involving COVID was quite that strenuous. But anyways, I stayed quarantined for the time I needed to for Disney, and then I had a few days on the back end and ended up getting a chance to make it out to a movie. I went out to see one of my favorite all-time classics, which is On Golden Pond. On Golden Pond is legitimately a favorite of mine from at least 15-20 years ago. Something about the way that On Golden Pond is photographed and documented, and that lake, which is Squam Lake in New Hampshire. So I went in to see the movie, the classic, in the movie theater, and I ended up being one of 3 people in there. There was one other couple, but I was one of 3 people in the movie theater. There's nothing better than making it to a movie and being literally the only people in there to see the movie, and especially if you get to see a classic. So, saw the movie as the credits rolled. Being in TV and film, we always watch the credits. As the credits rolled, I Googled where Squam Lake was, and it happened to only be about 2.5 hours north of where I was staying. And so Googled it and thought to myself, that'd be really fun to take a little trip up there and see Squam Lake and On Golden Pond and just check it out. So did not get the chance to for another 2.5 weeks. And again, the show that I was on was super chaotic and right back into the thick of it, more work days and such. And so once I finally got a chance to go up there, the Enterprise rental company that had given me a vehicle had given me a Mustang, a convertible Mustang, which it's the middle of January. There's no rhyme or reason why I would have had a Mustang, but the Enterprise guy decided to give me something fun. So got the Mustang, took it up to New Hampshire, Squam Lake, pull into Squam Lake, and everything in Squam Lake is labeled On Golden Pond. On Golden Pond Restaurant, On Golden Pond Hotel, On Golden Pond, fishing village, On Golden Pond, store, On Golden Pond gas station. I pulled into the On Golden Pond gas station, and there was 4 workers there about under the age of 30, and not a single one of them knew anything about the movie On Golden Pond. And right then and there, having pulled into a town that is otherwise there or been renamed because of On Golden Pond, not a single one of these people knew about the actual movie. And I asked them, and I prodded them and tried to see if they knew anything. They knew nothing. They didn't know where the original cabin was. They didn't know anything about the movie. They'd never seen the movie. And we're talking about the actual gas station that's named on Golden Pond. It started to become somewhat of an adventure and somewhat of a wanderlust, that there was this location that happened to be named after a movie out of the 80s that nobody up there knew what it was. So that set off me asking as I left that gas station, hey, you guys got any, do you guys have any real estate agencies? And I walked into a real estate agency. They printed out about 50 different houses. And of those 50 houses, I started to kind of weed them out one by one. Ran it past my girlfriend at the time and started to create this magical little parcel that I ended up purchasing. Got a chance to go around Squam Lake a little bit, and there was all sorts of mystique around it because it was partially winter and it was super it was partially frozen, and all around, I guess if we're going to be a real YouTuber, we're going to have to get some sort of mount here, aren't we? But anyways, it just became like a magical experience all around. Everything about the experience was phenomenal. And it was just phenomenal. It was just so much fun to be up there in Squam Lake. So, as the case was, I was able to go up there a second time. And when I went up there for the second time, I got a chance to explore the area in which I was gonna buy a house. And the town, otherwise known as Sandwich, and I guess I'll get into Sandwich in another video, but the town known as Sandwich is called Sandwich and has a fair that has occurred for the last almost 150 years. So great history in this region. But it was named after the Duke of Earl, the Duke of Sandwich. And so anyways, the reason that Sandwich gets its name is because it's smack dab between Squam Lake and Moultonborough, and legitimately it is a region of New Hampshire that's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. There's kind of a mystique around that area. It had a huge claim to the Amish back in the day. This house that I'm going to be going up and working on was originally built in 1900. The well that is attached to the property is underneath the house. You would not encounter a house with a well underneath it any more these days. So I really am excited to document and outline what I'm going to do with this property. And I've got some really cool ideas for what I'm going to do with this property. I previously owned some other houses, and this one is really the first passion projects that I've taken on. I've taken on some pretty adventurous stuff in Los Angeles on my current house, but this house in New Hampshire really is going to be a passion project. And we'll see how far we want to take it and what we want to do with the land and just what it'll become. But anyways, wanted to give you guys a good backstory as to how I came across this fun little parcel of land that I bought in Sandwich, New Hampshire, which is about 10 miles outside of Squam Lake. So really beautiful region. Definitely will get a chance to show you guys around that region in the next month. So if you have just subscribed to my channel, please like and share this video. Definitely excited to showcase what will become of this house and what we will do with it. So again, like and share. Thanks for joining my YouTube channel, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.